What is up, Six Siegers? Bear here, bringing you another long-awaited Six Siege the board game video. Today's video, I'm gonna jump back into my Operator Spotlight series. Um, have an operator picked out that I kind of wanted to try and showcase to you all. It's a very low-tiered operator. If you don't know how to use them, but uh, ends up being a very good operator nonetheless. They actually bring a very unique uh, play style and playability to the board game. But yeah, let's jump into this. So for my spotlight in this video, I have gone with sorry, Rook. Oh, he's upside down. Come on now. There we go. Rook. Yeah. Rook. He has a setup that gives you 3 armor plate tokens that you can put on any of your operators who have 4 or 5 health. You cannot put it on a 6 health operator, or a heavy as we like to call them. And basically the armor plate, it just negates a single damage. So if you were to if an operator was to take 4 damage, it doesn't matter what the damage source is from. Can be shots, frags, nitros, smoke or gas overlays, anything like that. But just if you would take like 4 damage, instead you only take 3 damage and you remove the plate. Right. So the plate is just a one-time thing. Um, but like with the rest of this list, that actually creates a very unique type of playstyle and strategy to do this. Um, so yeah, let's dive into the rest of the team. Don't wanna show everybody yet. All right. These are my first 2 operators, Vigil and Warden. Um, Vigil, just to go over them very quickly. Vigil never receives a locate, and his other passive is anytime he is just being targeted by a shot. The shooter must remove any 1 die before rolling their hit dice. So he's a very aggressive operator, and that's kind of the angle that this list is going. It's supposed to be aggressive or very aggressive, however you want to label it. He has also, I went ahead and put that armor plate on him. And then the other aggressive operator that we went with is Warden. And Warden never receives a stun, and he maintains line of sight through smoke and gas overlays. So yeah, I'll start with Vigil. In my opinion, Vigil is probably the best combo piece with Rook. Just for the fact that he is lightweight, he only has that 4 health, but with the plate, he technically has 5. Um, but he just Vigil plays for himself, right? He doesn't bring anything else for the rest of your team. So really, the only thing that you can potentially do with him is to just be aggressive, and him having that armor plate helps that sort of play style. And then as for Warden, it's kind of the same thing, just in a little bit of a different way. He goes from 5 health to 6 health, which is really good. Um, but he basically covers if your opponents are playing around their smokes, if they're playing around their flashes or any flash operators, right? He just also lets you be aggressive and kind of in the opposing team's face. And then we will go over the last 2. Oh no. Scoot that over. All right, yeah, and then the last 2 that we went with is Ekko and Pulse. So Ekko is he is a defensive drone operator, and basically what his drone does is, upon completing a scan, uh, every locate all opposing located operators in the room receive a stun. So that itself, stunning those operators lets you play aggressive. And if you don't know what a stunned operator does, uh, anytime they roll for any sort of shoot action or riposte, then they only get to roll 2 yellow die, which fits very well in this type of aggressive theme. You stun a room, and then your Vigil, Warden, or even your Pulse, right? You can run in there and potentially just come out unscathed from any kind of firefight. And then yeah, last we got Pulse. Pulse is just your locating operator. Wave or vertical, you can target an operator. But then also his vertical ability is he basically just gets to shoot somebody if they're in a vertical room and if they're located, right? So you actually have Ekko there to help you with that. But on top of that, because you are being so aggressive, this is kind of just like the synergy of the whole team. But everybody sort of enables everybody else, right? Like you've got Rook. One thing with Rook, his ability is set up, so you don't have much to do with him once you have placed your tokens. So you can kind of just use him as like a human drone, right? He does have that 6 health that kind of helps. Ideally, you do want to take those long range shots, but even if you're getting 1 or 2 damage in with your close to medium, you can have any of your other operators follow up. Or like I was saying with the synergies, if you have Rook, you know have a shootout with another operator. They're located. You can use Pulse's vertical action to uh, potentially finish them off, right? And then Rook still has that health, that 6 health, so you can last for a little bit. Um, and then, as I said, Ekko, he can stun opposing operators, and then that just allows the rest of your team to be more aggressive to them. Now, one sort of caveat to this list: this is a very aggressive list, and your armor plates, remember, it's a one-time use. So, kind of the play style that this sort of list will bring is you are going to be aggressive, but it's really you only have like one chance to do that, right? Because once your Vigil Warden or Pulse get into that firefight, more than likely they are going to lose that armor plate. Um, so this is kind of like you need to set it up and then strike whenever you need to. Now, you don't want to potentially play a super long game with this. You want to be as aggressive as you possibly can, but you also just need to wait for that perfect moment to strike on your opponent. And then again, just to go over basically the entire list, all of your ranges are relatively covered. They're very good. Pulse and Vigil just have great guns. They have the best guns on the team. Um, and then you've got your medium and long range covered by Ekko and Rook. You've got, and then Warden is also helping with the close to medium. So not a lot that you can go wrong, even with Pulse, either for himself, for Rook, or for Vigil. Well, even Ekko, have Pulse just locate somebody who's really far away, and then just try to get like a wall bang in. You know that'll keep the opposing operators at bay. Um, and like always, I've got some alternative picks for you guys. We can go over some of them, kind of weird, but there's some good thought going into these. So these are a couple of the alternative picks that I had: Doc, Oryx, Alibi, Smoke, and Castle. So with Doc, he plays into kind of more of like a sustainability. Where kind of the big thing that I see with Doc is, yes, it lets your operators play aggressive, and then you can just heal them up, right? So it almost lets you play a bit more aggressive than you normally would, uh, because he can heal and he can revive, which is good. And also a neat little bit of tech with his revive, is that if Warden gets revived, Doc's ability says that the operator is revived and they receive a stun, but if you revive Warden, because he never receives a stun, he will just come back with his 1 health, but he'll have a super good gun. So if Warden is overwatching, but then if he dies and then gets revived, he just gets to repose back with all of his hit dice, which is really neat. Oryx coming in to watch your, well, more so the attacker's entryway spaces, with his ability. That's just nice. He's got a really good close range gun, not much else. But still, just like giving him that armor plate can potentially give him a little bit of survivability. With that, like I said, And even with Oryx, it's kind of just his playstyle. If you are sending Oryx out through an attacker entryway space to get a kill, he's kind of just dead after that. It's not always the case, but that's typically what this is. And I guess kind of adding that into even just the default setup that I have, um, you're set up well enough for trades. Because like I said, you really have only one chance to make something happen. Um, but you have a lot of good tools to make that something happen, which is nice. And then going down to Alibi, kind of Oryx and Alibi both kind of fit in the Vigil slot in my opinion. Alibi, another super good gun, just like Vigil and Pulse. Um, and then also she brings her extra decoys, which are nice. She can locate with those, which is also really good. Uh, the fact that she is a lightweight and she's got the Orange Destroy also really helps. That is something that the main list lacks, is that Orange Destroy. You only have that with the Warden. Um, so if you're playing pick and ban, uh, swap some of these in and out. And then next on the list, Castle, or sorry, not Castle. Well, yeah. We'll go over Castle first, and then we'll just bring it up with Smoke. So for Castle, it was kind of an odd pick at first because I had an initial thought and then it went away and then I remembered it and I was like, okay, like that kind of makes sense. So Castle's interesting because he does have his armor panels, right? So you can have armor plates and armor panels, but as I said that this is a very aggressive list, you can actually use Castle's armor panels to control exactly how you want the fight to be. Because, like I said, I don't think you want to play a full 5 round game with this. Um, Obviously, you're going to do whatever you can to win, but I do think that just being very aggressive whenever you are able to, because you can easily play, if you can play passive for about 4 or even 5 rounds, right? Like you can totally just let the attackers come in to the site or into the building and things like that. And then if you want, strike during the 5th round, strike during overtime round. Maybe just do some chip damage here and there if able. But yeah, Castle, he's just got his armor panels and it helps you basically you can kind of just make the map smaller, right? Like just cut things off. I know usually when I use Castle, if I've cut a room or an area off, I typically just don't use it myself. Sometimes that's detrimental, as defenders don't really have a way other than Mira to uh, potentially get rid of his armor panels. But you know, you got to play safe around those. And then last, because I skipped him, Smoke. Well, Smoke just has he's got his gas canisters, right? And that's really all you want to do. But that kind of helps you break line of sight if you do need to play aggressive, um, or even just get yourself set into position, right? Like you don't have to use his gas to do damage or anything like that. You can, if you need to get across a doorway that's being overwatched through, there you go. Toss your gas in front of it. Move your operators onto the other side of the door or room or whatever, and not be reposted against. Um, but yeah, guys, that's all I got for this. If you like aggressive lists, I mean, here you go. Here's a handful of picks for things that you can change. Sorry it took so long to get a video. I'm gonna start to do it again. I know well, not all of us, most of us, we finally have our physical copy, and I know we're all doing that as much as we can. So hope you guys have some great games with that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna bring more videos to you all as soon as I can, as soon as I can get ideas and things like that. But yeah, let me know what you think about the list. Do you like it? What would you change? Or if there's anything else that you want to see, just leave a comment and let me know. All right, thanks guys.